Welcome back to the Gentleman's Gazette. In today's video, we'll provide to you 30 suggestions for inspiration for your personal gentlemanly bucket list. As a way to orient big goals and major accomplishments, a lot of people find it not just useful, but also inspirational to create a bucket list. Really, it's all about the things you'd like to see, accomplish, and experience before you kick the bucket. As a classic men's style channel, of course, our bucket list skews much more heavily on the menswear and classic style side. So we decided it was a good idea to provide some inspiration for you in case you haven't finished your bucket list or just want to add to it. Of course, if you haven't started, this is a great time. I'll focus on self-improvement, travel, the finer things in life, and of course, clothing. Don't worry, we have lots of other suggestions before you go to that big changing room in the sky. Obviously, these are just suggestions that we hope inspire you to create your very own bucket list, and we'd love to see what you put on it in the comment section below. So, without further ado, our first suggestions, of course, are all from the sartorial world. Shouldn't be too surprising. Number 1, commission a bespoke item of clothing. Can be a suit, a shirt, a pair of shoes, or all of the above. No, we're not saying once you go bespoke, you never go back, and only bespoke is the holy grail. I have bespoke items, and I still buy vintage items for $5 at a flea market. They're not mutually exclusive. In my mind, bespoke clothing is the ultimate expression of your personal style in menswear. It is your chance to manifest your imagination together with another individual to create something that is truly unique to you in either fit, style, comfort, or all of the above. If you're a clothes horse like me, chances are you really enjoy that process of creating something very special where the sky is the limit. Now you think everything bespoke is expensive, you can get a smaller item, such as a bespoke watch strap, a bespoke shirt, and if you want to learn more about the differences between ready-to-wear, made-to-measure, and bespoke, we'll get you covered. Number 2, develop your own statement piece. If you're into classic style these days, you stand out in the crowd. I mean, even if you wear a navy blazer, you're probably better dressed than 90% of the people around you. But adding a bit more personality to your look is definitely something that can work in your favor. Let's say you're at a trade show and you are the bow tie guy, or maybe you are the green suit guy. It's definitely something that will help you define you as a person, and people will recognize you for it. You've probably seen other people rarely employing a particular color. Often it's like white or black, but there are other colors that you can use that are maybe your favorite. It also can mean that you wear something more generic in a particular way. Just think about Gianni Agnelli and how he wore his wristwatch on top of his cuff, right? We all wear wristwatches, we all wear dress shirts, but people did not wear it in that way. Or maybe you want to revive a vintage accessories because you like collar bars and collar clips and you decide to wear those a lot. Maybe it's colorful socks, or that you wear cufflinks all the time. Really, whatever it is that reflects your style. No, it's not like a uniform and you don't have to wear it all the time, but statement pieces really help to make your look one of a kind. Like David Byrne's Ensemble and a music video for Once in a Lifetime. Number 3, visit a famous menswear destination or all of them. Just think of London's Savile Row or Jermyn Street. You will probably enjoy just strolling around, going into the shops and seeing what the myth is all about. Or heading to Milan's famous Via Gesù, or you just walk a back street there and maybe find a cool shirt maker. Or Tokyo's Ginza district. Or you go to Naples and try to explore the different tailoring houses, maybe London House, Marinella, and so forth. Number 4, build your ideal classic wardrobe. Now, I know that's a bit of a moving target because style is always evolving and never stands still. Some people say great clothing collections are never finished, just abandoned. That being said, I personally aspire to have a complete wardrobe. So I try to have a white tie ensemble, a black tie ensemble, an evening overcoat, a hunting suit, and so forth. Now, of course, as I find new things and my style evolves, I may exchange certain things, or I'll just get more things until my closet can't take it anymore. No, if you take an organized approach, it doesn't take a lifetime to acquire your ideal classic wardrobe, but it is a lot of fun to do it over a lifetime, at least in my opinion. Now, having a wardrobe that is quality, versatile, seasonal, and stylish is definitely something that we strive to help you with here at the Gentleman's Gazette. 5. Assemble a full black tie and white tie ensemble. Now, a major step is to have a full black tie outfit because it requires special things such as a tuxedo shirt, probably with shirt studs and cufflinks. Chances are you don't have any other shirts with shirt studs. Maybe you want a detachable collar, maybe you want a soft turn-down collar, but you probably will have special black tie socks, a boutonniere, and so forth. Honestly, we talk extensively about these things in our black tie guide, which is the most comprehensive in the world, so just check that one out. And once you've mastered black tie, you can move on to white tie, which in my mind is a lot of fun, even though I don't wear it very often. Number 6, attend a major men's fashion event. Probably the biggest one right now is Pitti Uomo in Florence, which happens twice a year, once in January, once in June. If you don't like the heat, I suggest you go in January. Of course, you can also go to New York Fashion Week, London Fashion Week, or Milan Fashion Week. But personally, I'm not too enticed by these events, which is why we decided that we host our very own Belvedere Bash event, which is for classic style enthusiasts. We'll host it in Minneapolis, our hometown, on October 27th and 28th of 2023. Stay tuned, and I'll hope to see you there. And yes, you can wear your black tie and white tie outfits, because that's what we're all about. And yes, Preston is going to sing. 7. Invest in a quality piece of heirloom jewelry. What do I mean by that? Well, something that wasn't factory made, but was maybe made bespoke for you or for someone else, that is really quality, that is unique, and that will stand a test of time, that you can hand down to your kids and grandkids, and that you enjoy wearing every day. Now, jewelry is very personal. Some people may like cufflinks, others hate them. It can be a watch, it can be a signet ring, it can be whatever other pin you like to wear, a collar bar, or something more unique such as an earring, or something else that really speaks to you and reflects who you are. Of course, the great thing about it is it'll keep your memory alive long after you kick the bucket. And while you're still kicking, you can enjoy too. No, it's not about the price. And if you can afford a bespoke piece with a jeweler that resonates with you, that's awesome. But maybe you find a ring at a flea market that really speaks to you, that fits you, and that's exactly what you've always been looking for. And that's fine too. All that matters is that it resonates with you and your style. Number 8 goes to a similar vein. It's about a leather good that you can pass on to someone else. Exceptional quality leather that is well cared for and not just left in the sun to rot under UV radiation can last a lifetime. Think about maybe a piece of luggage, maybe a weekender bag, a briefcase, or an attaché case, because chances are that your wallet that you wear every day heavily is probably not going to last 100 years. Why? Well, leather is a natural material and it just wears out. So having a leather good that uses a thicker leather rather than a split leather, or a leather that has been split so it's very thin, will probably be the way to go on this one. I mean, don't you want something that your kids fight over when you're gone?
F you, man. Wait, stop it.
Number 9. Shop at an iconic menswear flagship store of a brand that you really enjoy. As a regular, you'll already know we're not big into labels and all about quality and style. That being said, flagship stores often have a lot of money put into them to create a cool experience. And at the end of the day, experience is something we all strive for. I always find that making a pilgrimage to a flagship store is almost like going to a cool museum with stuff that you're really interested in. And of course, you go shopping too, so it's all rolled into one thing. So food for thought could be the Cartier flagship store at the Champs-Élysées in Paris. Or, for example, Brioni's Via dei Condotti boutique. or maybe Henry Poole on Savile Row, or the Ralph Lauren Rhinelander Mansion in New York. And hey, while you're there, check out Paul Stewart, Brooks Brothers, and J Press. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Basically, in every city, you can find great stores. Just think about Vienna, where you can go to Jungmann and Neffe, which is a great selection of accessories, or Knische with their Art Deco interior. Now that I think about it, we could almost create a list of all the menswear destinations one could travel to. What do you think about that? Would you find it valuable? Please share in the comments below. 10. Host a black tie event. If you feel like us, there's not enough opportunities to wear black tie. And if I talk to other men, that's definitely something I hear a lot. So don't just wait for others to invite you to a party, just host your own. And the cool thing about it is, people usually love it, and they probably get inspired by you to host their own party, which they likely will invite you to their party then. So you get to wear your tuxedo more often. So be the change you want to see. Yes, you could have a major birthday party and have a black tie dress code. You can have a nice dinner party, just a general party, or frankly, you don't need any particular reason. You can just do it because you love it. Just give yourself permission to do it. I promise you, you won't regret it. Frankly, I also think being a host and having to think everything through also makes you a more desirable guest, because you're probably going to be more respectful. And for example, Jack on our team, he had a black tie dress code for his 30th birthday, even though his family and surroundings is not really into menswear. But it was his birthday after all, so he just went with it, and he loved it. 11. Attend or host at least one white tie event. Now, a lot of people think of white tie as something that's a bit archaic or something that's not worth investing their money in. If you have your black tie wardrobe covered and you want to do something special, I highly recommend it. Now, scoring invitation to a white tie event is really hard. And unless you're in Vienna, you go to the opera ball, or you're getting a Nobel Prize or can attend a ceremony, chances are you probably won't encounter too many events. If you do, good for you. If you don't, just host your own, maybe get together with some others, make it a nice dance party, organize something, invest in it, and I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time. Number 12, find your menswear holy grail. What do we mean by that? Well, find something that's very evocative of your personal style. Maybe it can be something like a genuine silk plush top hat, or a gray top hat that you wear when you go to Royal Ascot. Or maybe it could be a vintage flight jacket. Or maybe a evening overcoat that works with your black tie outfit. Really, it's just something that is rare and unique, that uniquely suits you and your style. Number 13, become comfortable with your personal style. Yes, I know it's a broad one, but it's an important one. Even the nicest clothes that fit well are somewhat useless if you don't feel comfortable and confident in them. And it'll show in the way you show up, the way you walk, and the way you present your body. For example, early on, I was uncomfortable wearing bow ties because I felt it wasn't me. Over time, I was able to build up the courage. I would put in a bow tie with regular day wear, and all of a sudden I became more comfortable. Yes, in the beginning it can be hard. Other people may laugh at you or make fun of you, but over time you'll develop the courage to stand above that, because that is truly who you are and how you want to be seen. Now, today I don't wear a bow tie every day, and that's okay. But when I do, I'm really comfortable in my skin, and compliments fly to me left and right. If you're curious about how to take a compliment like a gentleman, check out this video here. Next up is a lifestyle. Number 14, buy an original piece of art, or something that just resonates with you. Whether it's an oil painting worthy of an old master, or a masterpiece of the urban no-wave movement. Buying or even commissioning a piece of art that is made for you is definitely a life's accomplishment. Really, the sky's the limit. Think of sculptures, posters, even 3D art, whatever it is that works for you. Lately, for example, I've been interested in large-scale menswear vintage posters that were used for advertising. And yes, you can get the reprints, or you can get an original that is linen-backed. And when you frame it, it's quite impressive. We even have one at the office. Number 15, sample a bottle of something that is older than you are. And the beauty about it is that you can just keep doing that for a very long time. Frankly, nothing quite puts your life into perspective as much as sipping on maybe a whiskey or a port that is quite a bit older than yourself. No, it doesn't have to be something alcoholic necessarily. You can probably find a bottle of Coke that is older than you. It just may not taste as well. It's also fun to do like a tasting. For example, I like port, and so you can go back, and while there's not always a vintage of the birth year, because they only make vintages in certain years, you can definitely find something that is older than you. 16. Play a hand of Baccarat at a classic casino. Originally, James Bond's games of choice was Baccarat. If you prefer poker, go for it, but I think it has something special to play that old game. I mean, what better to live life to the fullest 007 style? I'm not talking about some back alley casino, but about something like that's more luxurious and sophisticated. Think of the casino in Monte Carlo, or the one in Baden-Baden, which Marlene Dietrich once called the most beautiful casino in the world. Of course, if you're drawn to places like Vegas, maybe check out the Cosmopolitan, or Macau's Grand Lisboa. One of our writers recently checked this off his bucket list, and he said that he never looked more stylish, felt more refined, and like he was living more glamorously than in this moment, while he was also losing 200 euros in a very short amount of time. Number 17, eat at a Michelin-Starred Restaurant. Even if you're not into food, having this experience at least once in your lifetime will make you a more complete human being. Among the famous restaurants, there's differences too. Some are more experimental, some are more classic, so choose whatever floats your boat. Yes, I know, not all areas in the world have Michelin-star restaurants because the local tourism board decided not to sponsor the guides coming in. For example, the Midwest of the US is such an area. But you can find still exceptionally great restaurants that would easily get a star or two, or maybe more, if they were in other places of the world. Yes, you've probably heard of Noma in Copenhagen, and they may not always be open. There is like Central in Lima, there's Piazza Duomo in Alba in Italy, or the Fat Duck in Bray, England. There's also the French Laundry in California, and there's a whole list of the 100 best restaurants in the world. I'm sure you'll find something that you're somewhat close to that you might enjoy. Number 18, leave a tip that is larger than your bill. And no, I'm not talking about buying that scone and leaving a $5 tip. But maybe after enjoying a hearty meal, you feel inclined to spread the wealth around. A great way to do that is to tip generously. A riff on that is to pay for someone else's meal at an expensive restaurant. Maybe it'll inspire them to do like-minded things, but at least they will think about it, what just happened. 19. Leave a legacy donation to a charity of your choice. To maximize the warm and fuzzies, consider leaving a sizable chunk of your inheritance, if there is one, to a charity that deserves it in your mind. That means you're not just doing good, but you actually leave a legacy that will be doing good when you're already gone. Isn't that cool? Next, let's talk about travel. 20. Take a classically inspired trip. What that means is up to you, of course. You can revive the glitz and glamour of the 1930s. You can go stay at the Ritz in London or in Paris. Or maybe you just want to travel aboard the Orient Express. Of course, there are also other trains like the Indian Explorer or the Rocky Mountaineer, or you can take one in India. Or you want to go onto an old school cruise, maybe like Cunard Line, Queen Mary, or you want to go on a Nile cruise on an old steamship that Hercule Poirot was on in Murder on the Nile. Number 21, attend an arts event in a famous venue. Arts can be enjoyed anywhere, but there's something special about enjoying them in a place of significance that is just beautiful. And no, it doesn't have to be the Met Gala. It can be a performance of Shakespeare in a genuine Globe Theatre, or an opera at the famous La Scala building in Milan, or maybe a classic music concerto at the Elbphilharmonie in Hamburg. If you haven't heard about that one, take a look at how stunning this building is. Maybe it could be a dance recital in India at the Kerala Kathakali Center. Nothing beats a setting as sensational as the spectacle itself. I mean, just think about it. Seeing Preston perform at Carnegie Hall, wouldn't that be awesome? Number 22, participate in or attend at least one big cultural event. Think about something fun, exceptional, maybe in a faraway place, like the running of the bulls in Pamplona, Spain, or the tomato throwing festival in Italy, or join the parades in Kenya's Mombasa Carnival, or go to the carnival in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, or strip down naked for the Hadaka Matsuri Festival, the Naked Men Festival in Japan. Or you could plan on a tour to the 7 wonders of the modern world. So far, I checked off 3 from the list. I've been to the Great Wall, the Colosseum, and the Corcovado, or the Christ Redeemer statue in Rio. Of course, there's other things, like the Terracotta Warriors, or Antelope Canyon, and there's national parks. There's so many things in the world that are worth seeing. If you're not quite sure where to travel to, the book 1,000 Places to See Before You Die provides great bucket list inspiration. Number 23, participate in or observe in a singular sporting experience. For example, you can enjoy the great outdoors and go fly fishing in Montana, or maybe deep sea fishing in South Africa or Alaska, or going for a shoot in the Scottish Highlands, or go onto an African safari, or maybe go horseback riding in Montana, Mongolia, or Australia. Maybe for you it means to compete in a marathon or an Ironman. I mean, it sure beats riding on your Peloton at home. If you rather observe than participate, maybe go to a major event like a World Cup soccer game, for example. Or maybe a Formula 1 race in Monaco or elsewhere. And if you're in the VIP ranks of the MotoGP, you may even go on a lap with a pro driver. Now that's an experience. Of course, as a menswear enthusiast, attending the Kentucky Derby or the Royal Ascot horse race in England are definitely high on the list. If you need a refresher for the type of morning wear you have to wear there, check out our guide. Now let's switch over to more personal or self-improvement things. Number 24, devise a personal motto or maybe come up with some core values for you that you live and abide by. It could be something like best foot forward or the classically inspired per aspera ad astra. A personal motto can help guide your life and conduct even in situations when it gets tough. If you're not quite sure how to find your motto, I suggest to think about things that you regret in life, because they're typically closely related to the things that you value the most. Once you have one, you can maybe emblemize it on your letterhead, or you can just quietly have it stitched into your bespoke shirt or your bespoke shoes, whatever floats your boat. Or maybe you come up with certain core values that you stand by. Personally, for example, for me it's like quality. I'd rather buy something that is quality and well made and it's maybe used than buying something new that is just of crappy quality. Now, we know what values we have at the Gentleman's Gazette, but I'd be curious to see what you think our values are, or if you think a particular motto that you come up with would suit us quite well. Looking forward to seeing what you come up with in the comments. Number 25, learn at least the basics of another language that is not your mother tongue. I mean, there's a wide, wonderful world of menswear out there, and being able to speak maybe some Italian or Korean or Japanese will definitely help you to enjoy that even more. In addition, there's also quite a humbling aspect of learning and speaking another language, because you realize that you can't express yourself in the way you would really want to. Trust me, I should know. I started learning in school, and it's quite fun to see the personal journey in a language and how your accent evolves, and it is definitely very satisfying. Number 26, grow out your hair or facial hair just to see what it looks like. And hey, once you decide it's time to maybe shave or go back again, you can also have some fun and come up with cool haircuts like a mullet or different beard varieties just to see what it would be like. For example, Preston did that, and it's a pretty cool progression to see him with these different beard styles. Not sure how to grow a beard? We got a video for you. As you can see, Kyle knows a thing or two about it. Number 27, learn how to cook a signature dish. Breaking bread and having a meal together with people is just a very special form of enjoyment. And no, it's not just about getting the nutrients into your system, but it's about the connection you create and the memories. Having a dish that is maybe a little bit special in the way it's prepared or the way it tastes, and that is not something that people will find everywhere all the time, can really help to almost create kind of a pilgrimage to your place where you host people and share your love for that meal. Maybe you're inspired by a meal that you had at a Michelin-Starred Restaurant, or maybe you're from a country where there's a special dish that people where you now live normally don't know. It is really a gift that you can bring to the world, and people will love to pilgrim to your place where you host them and share your gift with them. Not sure what to cook. It could be something like a soufflé or a baked Alaska. Or for example, we like to do nice beef Wellington dinners, and when it comes out and you carve it open, it is just always beautiful and people really love it. And hey, if you invite me to one of your signature dish dinner parties, I will try my best to get there. Number 28, develop your personal variation on a signature cocktail, or maybe come up with your own cocktail recipes. During 2020 and 21, I started experimenting with cocktails and understood what elements you have to add, and I came up with a bunch of nice drinks so that when I have people over, I can ask them, what do you typically like? And I can present them with something that is in that vein, but it's a bit special. So for example, if someone likes a Manhattan, maybe I'll make a Galliano Manhattan, which is slightly different, but in that same family. So I know they'll like it, even though they're like, oh, I've never had that before. Or for example, if someone's into gin, I have this German Waldmeister syrup, which translates to forest master, and it's like an herbal syrup that I mix with Cointreau, which is an orange liqueur, and some lime juice, and people always love it, and it has this vibrant green color, so they're always like stunned, like, wow, this looks like at a restaurant or a bar. After you've mastered your drink, it's time for number 29, how to give a great toast. Speaking in front of a crowd may not be your thing, but frankly, once you learn how to incorporate humor into everything and how to say what you want to say in a non-boring way, it gives you a really nice feeling and people will appreciate you for it. We're not all born as eloquent as Laurence Olivier, and we may not all have the wit of Noel Coward, but it's definitely something that you can practice and learn and get better. From festivities at the pub to wedding receptions, there will always be an opportunity for you to show that skill. Or maybe you have to give a best man speech. By the way, we have a great video on what to say and what not to say when it comes to those. Last but not least, number 30 is make your very own bucket list. I hope we provided some good inspiration for you here, and don't feel intimidated. Some things may resonate with you, others won't. Right? Maybe you want to drive a supercar, maybe you don't. Make it your own, but as long as you start making it, you think about it, and you keep it in a place where you can always refine it, change it, or add things, and then intentionally crossing things off, I firmly believe that once you put down your thoughts, desires, and goals down on paper, you work on them, you refine them, you exchange things, you will live a more fulfilled, a more happy, and a more grateful life. Now, I really look forward to learn what you put on your bucket list, so please share in the comments below, because I'm sure I can pick up some things from you. In this video, I'm wearing a terracotta white striped shirt from Spear & Mackay. I'm wearing a Fort Belvedere prototype travel blazer in a fabric that we had woven just for us. It's a really nice and soft silk and wool blend that is very breathable and style has patch pockets, so stay tuned for it. My pocket square is a silk wool blend from Fort Belvedere that was inspired by a ceiling at a Viennese museum. My pants are some prototype chinos, and I'm currently testing some fabric, and I want to see how it wears right out of the washing machine without ironing it. So if you see some wrinkles, that's the reason why. After all, if we sell you pants, we don't want you to spend time ironing them. We want them to look as great as possible once they come out of the dryer or the washer. My socks are green and brown shadow stripe from Fort Belvedere, and I transition to my shoes, which were the product of my Bespoke collaboration with Amara Hark Weber, and you can find the entire series of how these were made here. Last but not least, to accessories, I have a grün precision watch that is very flat with a brown lizard strap, as well as a gold ring with some Art Deco inspired carving and an orange stone. Honestly, I don't even know what it is, but it works well with my shirt stripe. Amara made me a matching belt of the same leather as the shoes with a gold Fort Belvedere buckle that is exchangeable, and it matches, in this case, my watch and my ring.